Are you trying to get into drinking whiskey neat but have no idea where to start? Well, here's 7 tips that may help you. Welcome back, friends. Thanks for tuning into another episode of the Jackleg Act. My name is Mushki, as always, your guys' Master Jackleg. Today's video, I'm going to break down 7 easy, simple tips to help you get into whiskey drinking, particularly whiskey neat. Neat just means without ice, without any mixers. Straight up is another term that you might hear with this. So if getting into whiskey is something that you're wanting to do and you're new to it, like most things you're new at, it can be challenging, okay? Tip number 1, don't give up, okay? You may not be the best the first time you try it or the second time, okay? You may think that, it's just too strong for you. Or I personally wasn't a really strong alcohol drinker not too long ago. And when I say strong, I mean a high proof, like whiskey neat, which is a whiskey is 40% or higher legally, okay? That's a lot of alcohol. If you drink beer, you're drinking like 3 to 5% typically. Wine is a little higher than that. It's a whiskey neat, or any liquor pretty much neat at 40% or more. That's going to be a challenging thing, okay? And if you're not used to, and your body, your tongue, your palate, isn't used to a 40% alcohol, it's going to be overwhelming the first couple times you try it. And if you give up, you're never going to get over that hump. Your body's never going to be like, okay, this is something I can handle. Which, for some people, maybe that's not a bad thing. Tip number 2, though, is you may want to start with a more friendly whiskey, okay? Friendly is going to be subjective, but, if you find a whiskey that's typically at 40%, it's going to be more friendly than a whiskey at 50% or 60%, okay? So stay with a more mild whiskey. A more mild whiskey may help you build up that tolerance to it and help your palate adjust to the shock of higher proof alcohol, okay? The best way to figure out a friendly whiskey is, tip number 3, is try different kinds. Try bourbons, try sour whiskeys, try scotches, try whiskeys from Ireland, okay? Try Japanese whiskeys, try ones aged in sherry casks, some aged in port casks, there's so many different types, and just try them, okay? Going into tip number 4, do it with someone. Drink whiskey with someone, preferably someone with a little bit more knowledge who can help find you a friendly whiskey or help you in your trying of multiple whiskeys. But on the other scale of that, or the other side of that scale, doing it with someone who's a novice or a beginner like yourself can be just as fun because you get to grow together. Like the Jacklegs here on this channel, we are all growing together and doing it with someone. The next tip is going to be, when you get to that liquor store, you go see the shelves and shelves and shelves. Don't go buying the $100 bottle or the $150 bottle or even the $80 bottle, okay? When you're just getting into it, stick to a budget. Things that you can do. One, you can buy cheaper alcohol for the bottle and, drink those and then get a different bottle. You can do it with someone and you buy a bottle, they buy a bottle, and you can try the two. You can go out to bars. If you have like a whiskey bar or a bar that's well stocked with whiskeys, you can go there, and that's going to be cheaper than buying multiple bottles. But obviously you're only going to get a glass at a time, okay? So that's a good option. What I actually enjoyed doing, and it kind of became a fun little pastime as well, I actually started with a bunch of the 50 milliliter shot bottles that they sell at like gas stations, liquor stores, all over the place. I would just go anytime I was at a store, at a gas station, I'd look and be like, okay, is there any of these I haven't tried? And I probably tried about 40 different types of whiskeys from these little bottles that none of them cost more than like $4. Maybe a lie, there might have been 1 or 2 that was a little bit more, but like most of them were cheap. So that was a way of saving money and trying a bunch, okay? And you could do it from the comfort of your own home, which leads me to the next tip is don't be embarrassed, okay? Embarrassed because you have to take smaller sips, or because, you can't smell everything, or you don't get the tasting notes, okay? Don't be afraid if the notes that you are getting in smell and or taste are like way out there. If you're like, I'm getting gummy bears, the clear ones, like that's unique. Yeah, and that, but as I said in the beginning, is whiskey is subjective. What is friendly to you might not be friendly to me. Okay, what I might smell as honey, you might smell as Starburst, and I can't tell you you're wrong because it's a subjective thing. Okay. To help you out, though, with your tasting and your nosy, which is the smelling of whiskey, I highly recommend you get a Tulip Glass, which is the next tip. This is a Glencairn whiskey glass. I really enjoy these, but any kind of glass that has the tulip shape where it's wider on the bottom and that gets narrow towards the top will help you with being able to nose and smell whiskeys and liquors in general. I did a review on this, I'll link up here, but it will help, and it helps with all different types of liquors. Even if you weren't getting into whiskeys, like my review, I did it with tequila. You could do it with vodka, gin, whatever you wanted. It just helps with the ability to smell more things, and when you smell more things, you can taste more things. So that is the 7 tips that I have for you. I'm going to give you a bonus tip, and I'm going to tell you that if you've tried drinking whiskey neat, straight, however you want to say it, and it's still just too much for you, it is totally okay. It's totally acceptable, no matter who says anything else, for you to have it in a mixed drink, for you to mix it with something, Jack and Coke, whatever, Crown and Coke, whatever people are mixing, whatever you want to mix it with. You want to do Sprite, ginger ale, you want to do mixed drinks like old fashions or Manhattans, like go for it. If that's your gateway, go for it. Again, don't be embarrassed. Just do it. Enjoy it. Start with someone else, these are just kind of no-brainers. I hope this video helps you get started in enjoying whiskeys, because I'm glad that I did, and I've become a real big fan of them, and it's been something that I've enjoyed. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to become a Jackleg yourself, and leave me a comment down below with a whiskey that you've tried, or if you've gotten into it, or if you have another tip for me of how I can maybe enjoy whiskey more. And until next time, guys, Mooshki out.